Okay, so I'm going to introduce Alex Vodemer, riding Exact. I think everyone's quite familiar with this horse by now. He's taken out quite a few young horse championships. So his breeder is Torsten, I've been told how to pronounce this. Adam, you could do this for me. Hogriff, I'm going to say? Yeah, Alex is correcting. Hogrife. The horse is sired by Escarmillo, and the dam is by Hohenstein. He's a 5-year-old, and Alex is based in the Southern Highlands. She's a level 2 dressage coach, being sponsored by Bear Equestrian. So I have a quote from Alex that says, "This boy is very special to me, and he is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime horse. He is in every way amazing, and I feel privileged and grateful that I can ride him, and I am so excited for our journey together." And she sent that to me, and I had to include that and share that with everybody because I think that that sentiment is just so beautiful, and it encapsulates what we want from our horses and our riders. So Alex has been on quite a journey with this horse so far. Exact came to Australia 2 years ago from Alex's home country of Germany, and she herself migrated 8 years ago. And already in that time, she's made quite a name for herself on the young horse circuit. In the past 2 years, she and Exact have had numerous successes, including 2023 being reserve 4-year-old at the Willinga Park and Dressage and Jumping with Stars. In 2024 already they have been reserve 5-year-old champion at Willinga Park and the 5-year-old champions at both Dressage and Jumping with the Stars and now the Sydney CDI. Alex's passion is developing and producing confident and correct young horses, having grown up in her family's equestrian center outside Munich. Her dreams started young, and this partnership is helping to fulfill them. Her philosophy is to nurture the relationship with patience and time and to take no shortcuts. And we look forward to watching you and Exact perform. Thank you very much for riding for us. So I'll ring the bell in just a moment, Alex, and you can start the test. Okay, so you have test. This is 2, 3. This is the 2-3. Sorry, everybody.
Active entry, square halt. Needs rounder connection over top line in halt. Slight tension before the turn. 7. Well cadenced, could show a bit more thrust and ground cover with more bend in the corners. Rhythm maintained, 7. Quite fluid and well cadenced, could show more supple back and top line, 8. Lovely bend, slight tension before C, 7.5. Elastic strides. Show a bit more suppleness through the back, more forward stretch to the contact. Circle to be more accurate, 7.5. Elastic but slightly delayed depart, 7. Active strides, slight tension through top line, 7. Nicely balanced, slight tension but well maintained, 7.5. Active and ground covering, no change in tempo. Nose could stretch forward. 8. Well prepared. Slight tilt of pole at finish, 7.5. Fluid transition, clear rhythm, could show more relaxation over back and longer strides, 7. Could show more relaxation and ground cover. 6.5. Fluid and nicely balanced. 8. Well cadenced, could show better alignment, 7.5. Lovely cadence, show clearer bend through body, 7. Well engaged, nicely cadenced, 8. So in one error, and tenths depart, 4. Lovely balance, unfortunately fell to trot at the end. Would have been an 8, unfortunately insufficient. Okay, now where are we? Where are we now? Am I? Oh, lengthen, okay. Nicely balanced. Cover a bit more ground with clearer transitions, 7.5. Fluid transition to trot, slight tension into canter, 7.5. Fluid and well balanced. Transition, 8. Square behind, slight loss of balance in front. Shows a bit of tension, 7. Pace is freedom and regularity, 8. Impulsion, 8. Submission, 6.5. Rider position, seat effectiveness, 8. Well done. Is she going to bring some water?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Alex. That was lovely. I think any of us would love to have this horse in our barn. I think it's a wonderful horse. We could all see a little bit of tension. And for the judges here, I want to mention, when I watch these horses go, I always ask myself what score I would give before the small interruption or tension or tense moment or whatever. So that's probably why you saw some 7.5, 7, because I'm thinking, oh, I want to give that an 8 or a 9, but then, oh, there's something happens, so I go down a little bit from there. So that's why you're still seeing some pretty high scores, whereas if a horse comes in that already has some stiffness and, you know, on the forehand, things like that, then we're coming down even more. But I think there's a super quality to this horse. I think the walk is probably better at home than it is here, because you see the rhythm is super clear. But there was some tension, so we have to consider that. We have to judge what we see. So the highlights for me are the rhythm, the energy, the balance in the transitions, really well prepared transitions. The thing that I would encourage is continue to build the confidence and the relaxation, because then you'll get even more swing through the body. Your horse tends to get a little tight in the back at times, a little tension in the neck, slight tilting. And I'd like to see, and we can work on that now, I'd like to see you at this young age develop more equal bend both directions. The bend to the right is super well developed. The bend to the left needs to come a little bit more. Especially, and the time to work on this is now, then you don't have to worry about it so much later, moving up towards collection. One other thing, the difference between this level and the previous level, which in the States we call training level, this level requires thrust, and we can clearly see that in this horse. So we need to reward that. But what I'd like you to do right now is go to the trot and work on a figure 8 of 20 meters each, passing through X each time. And it's a very simple exercise, but I just want to make sure that we're getting the equal bend both directions through the horse's spinal column from the tail to the pole. And when you go to the left, I want you to really think about keeping your horse's spine directly on top of the line that you're on. So you're going to go 20-meter circle. You're going to change rein through X, heading towards B or towards E. Does that make sense? So starting at X, 20-meter circle this way, 20-meter circle that way. Just simple figure 8. Such a beautiful horse. It's really a treat for us to see horses like this. This is not the real world, by the way. This is a special horse anywhere on the globe. Yeah, there you go. So notice that this horse is going to have an amazing passage. You can already see it. Yeah. And I was thinking that a little bit during your test. You have to be careful with this kind of horse. If the tension creeps in, that it doesn't get a passage in a tense way, which it's not right now, but something to keep in the back of your mind. So there you see that little tilting of the pole. And that happens when we need to get the bend a little bit more equal both directions, so the horse takes an even contact in the front. So when you do the right turn, put your right leg a little more down and forward and your left leg a little more back. Yeah, and then when you go this direction, make sure that you're not over bending, because you want to think about this sort of invisible triangle. Think about the horse's hips being the base of the triangle and the withers being the tip of the triangle. So no matter what line you're on, you're going to always want to bring the tip of the withers right in the center of the hips. Yeah, that's super. Really good alignment. And now here, guard that the right shoulder doesn't fall out, that you don't get too much of the shoulders going to the right this direction. Exactly. Yeah, and make an extra circle this direction you're controlling it really well. But I want you to ride a couple of strides of counter shoulder in on the circle, counter shoulder 4. Yeah. Just until your horse fills out the left rein and comes a little more over the back. And now go with no bend. And now develop a little bit left bend, but a little softer your outside rein. Keep the withers in the center and think about keeping the rib cage a little more equal on both sides, not over bending the rib cage. Yeah, and then again, a few strides counter shoulder 4. So he comes more through the right rein and then relax. And now normal bend to the left. Nice, there you go. That's beautiful. And it's interesting when he comes, you can keep going with the exercise. You can go back to the figure 8. Yeah, super, super. And when we work with the alignment with these horses, it's important to, especially a really flexible horse like this, the horse will resist the proper bend and the straightening aids in either the pole or in front of the withers or behind the saddle. And the really flexible horses are actually harder to ride because they're so loose and wiggly that we always have to line up these pieces. And when you ride, you really want to feel like the left hind is stepping through to the left front and the right hind is stepping through to the right front. So the energy is really coming through both sides. Yeah, super. Notice the tilting is going away now, right? Is he feeling a little more even on both sides? Yeah. And now the hind legs are coming really super under the body. Super. So now when you go through X, do a little 10-meter circle to the right. Lovely. And this requires a little more bend through the body. And then through X, 20 meters to the left. Little half halt. Ride both sides of your horse. Yes, super. Controlling that he's not falling out the shoulder. Good. And then soften the eights. Good. And then a little 10-meter circle when you're ready. Yeah, supple the right side. Yeah, and then allow an equal bend to come through. Good, like that. Super. Super. That looks lovely. Yeah, and now again, a little 10-meter circle. Watch the little right hind leg through the right rein. And then soften, release. And then normal left bend. Yeah. Yeah, little right hind leg through the right rein. Release the right rein. And then normal left bend. Let him stretch the right side out a little more. There you go. Good, super. Super. Yeah. Good. Good. So now, let's go to the canter. When you're ready, and just stay on a 20-meter circle for a minute. Good. 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 And then again, half halt, bending aids, and then soften the right rein a little bit. Good. Yes. Super. Super. And then go ahead and ride half a circle of lengthened canter and then half a circle back to working canter. Think about covering the ground. Good, super. Notice that the horse is not increasing the tempo. He's really increasing the length of the strides. Super, and then collect again. And now a small circle, 10 to 12 meters. I know it's a young horse, so use your judgment. But notice, you guys, the tilting is starting to go away. He's coming more through. You can look at the left hind. It's stepping into it's following the left front, and the right hind's following the right front. The horse is getting a lot straighter. Super. Little giving. Yes. One more time. Lengthen, and then back to collect. Good. Lovely. Stretch up. Collect two legs. Tuck the hind legs under, and then soften the hands. Soften. Lovely. Back to the trot when you're ready. I wrote that on a lot of people. You can change rein when you're ready, Alex. Look at the trot now, it's amazing. I wrote that on a lot of people's tests over the weekend, that after the half halts, the riders need to release and let the horse find the balance on its own. You know, I had a lot of riders kind of holding the half halts too long, and then it blocks the horse. Ride a half halt for us now. Rock him back, and now release. See, that, you have to do that a lot with the horses. Give them a chance to balance on their own and to respond to the half halt. And so what if something happens? You have to test that. You have to ask the question. Super. Beautiful trot. It looks like almost like Pre-St. George. All right, canter when you're ready. I hope it's not boring that you're on a circle, but it's just easier to address the alignment. And I'm a little unusual trainer. I put straightness a little earlier on the training scale than most people do. Like even when I'm riding a 4 or 5-year-old, I'm still aware of the stiff and hollow side, because why wait until way later to address that, you know? And I don't force it, but I encourage, you know, equal bend and alignment both ways. And then the horse just gets easier to ride and happier because he's in balance. Super, really good. It's also good for you trainers to encourage your clients to, after they ride a half halt, to soften the hand, but also to soften their legs for a moment, so the horse doesn't have this clamping on his rib cage all the time, because they really don't like that and it makes them tense. That looks really good. Super, super bend. One more time, lengthen and then back to collect. Lovely. Notice the balance stays good. He stays up in his shoulders. Super. Close the hind legs under to collect, and then soften the hand. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Good. Super. Let's do a full arena if you're ready. Good. Do a center line. Just a little shoulder 4. Little shoulder 4, yeah, and then head toward K, the short diagonal, little lengthening. Good. Close the hind legs under, bend through the corner, soften, doesn't matter, good boy. Good, again, half halt, bend through the corner, and soften, straight ahead, super. Good. I also saw a lot of issues this weekend of not enough bend through the corners. The judges see all that stuff. You can do another center line with the shoulder 4. If the judge is sort of between 2 marks, thinking, do I want to give that a 7 or an 8? And then there's a nice bend through the corner, I'm for sure going to go up. But if there's no bend through the corner, or worse, counter bend through the corner, I'm going to go down. Super, well done. Half halt, soften. Okay, so now ride a serpentine of 4 loops. And over X, a little rebalancing half halt. Change your body position, change your legs, new bend, and then flow forward. Soft right rein. Good. Super. Little half halt, change your position, new bend under the saddle. Think of the bend as coming from under the saddle. Yeah. Doesn't matter. He's like, why are you bringing your outside leg back? Good. 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 Super. One more time, serpentine, and then we're going to let him stretch. Little half halt, rebalance, rebend, soften the aids, good. And again, show a little more bend through the body to the left. Feel that bend under the saddle, through the whole spinal column. And then soften the right rein, good, super. You can let him now at E, rising trot, stretching 20 meters. That's another thing, you know, everyone talks about the outside rein. The horse needs to be on the outside rein, on the outside rein. I agree with that, but being on the outside rein and leaning on the outside rein are not the same thing. I like the horse to fill up both reins with both hind legs. That's really nice. So there's like easy 8. Let him out even a little more, but still maintaining the contact on the outside rein. Come, connect him a little more. So the tempo is lovely, rhythm is super nice, could stretch out even a little more for a 9 or a 10, but easily an 8, right? Considering the quality. Good. And then let's see the walk now. I think we have to stop soon. Do your free walk now. Yeah, and kind of scratch his withers, talk to him, whatever you need to do to take a breath. Because I know this horse can reach more out of his shoulders. I just know he can. I know, you're a good boy. Yeah, that's a petting. He would benefit by a lot of trail rides and things like that, where you're just walking. Yeah, super. There you go, that's better. Yeah, and you can do that in your test. You can kind of scratch his withers and there you go. See how he's lengthening his frame more now? See, and now that he's moving more out of the shoulders. Super. Super. The nice thing is we never really see an issue with the rhythm, even when he's tense, so you're really lucky. Because a lot of us have had horses that have a perfectly good walk, and then when the back gets a little tense, the rhythm goes away, and it's like, oh, super. Alex, that was wonderful. Well done. Super.
There were 2 takeaways in that for me, and I know I missed the first bit, so you guys probably have more. I really liked, and I think this is going to be a theme for us throughout the day, was the release after the half halt to give them the chance to elevate their own balance. And I think that's a really good reminder, but like I said, I think we're going to see a bit of that throughout the day. Sandy, just quickly, can you summarize what you were doing? The horse was tilting, if I've gotten this right, thank you. The horse was tilting in the direction that you wanted her to, the horse was tilting, in that case I think it was left, you wanted her to supple, no it was right, you wanted her to supple the right bend in counterflexion, right?
Yep.
So I just wanted to...
Yeah. That's just a training exercise because sometimes, or oftentimes, the tilting comes when the horse isn't filling up both reins equally. And that's most horses, because there's a stiff side and a hollow side, and the hollow side is where the horse bends easily but becomes very crooked and tends to bring the haunches a little bit in and the shoulders a little bit out, which you couldn't see that much on this horse. Yeah. And the stiffer side is where you want to have more bend that way, and you want to encourage the horse to fill up the outside rein, the rein that he wants to be too soft on. So oftentimes, if there's an issue with the bending or the tilting, it's helpful to do a little bit of counter bend, and then absolute straight, and then true bend, to try to align and supple the body parts until the horse fills up both reins equally, and then the rider can access the true bend through the entire spinal column, and then that tilting usually resolves. But we see a lot tilting in half pass. And that's a little bit the same thing. It's unequal weight bearing behind, and that can result in the tilting. So it's a good exercise sometimes to ride serpentines in true bend, and then little counter bend, and then true bend again. It's kind of a rider feel thing. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, like when you train your horse, it's not always by the book. You have to kind of go with your feeling. Like, my horse won't take contact on the left rein. Why? What can I do to help him figure that out? You know, where's the blocking? Is it coming from behind the saddle? Is it coming from the pole? So that's kind of, you have to be kind of a detective with that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's that prioritization of straightness as well. Thanks.